Good morning. I'm the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for today's hearing. I want to begin by explaining how the process is going to work. We generally hear building cases first on the agenda, then the city will call the cases as they appear on the agenda. If you have appeared at today's hearing, your case will be called before those where no one has appeared, but that's only true if you've signed in. So if you haven't signed in, please check with an officer in the rear of the chamber and make sure that you are signed in. Once your case is called, I ask that you come down to the podium on my right-hand side, which is right over here. The city will put on its testimony and evidence first. You will have an opportunity to review the evidence and ask questions of the city's witnesses. You will also have the opportunity to testify and present me with any of your own evidence. Once all the testimony and evidence is complete, I will make a ruling. I will also enter a written ruling today, and which you will receive a copy of in the next few days through the mail. If you have any questions as we go through the process, please feel free to ask them. This is not a formal courtroom. The formal rules of evidence do not apply here, though although this is not a formal courtroom, all testimony is taken under oath under penalty of perjury. So if you're going to testify, or you think you might testify, or there's a possibility that you might testify, I'd ask that you rise and raise your right hand so you can be sworn in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Please be seated.
Case number 15, CE 24082457, case address 739 Avon Road.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property, 739 Avon Road, was witnessed on my routine patrol through my sign zone. This property was initially cited August 6th, 2024. Certified mail was sent out August 7th. The property and City Hall were both posted August 7th, and certified mail was returned September 12th. This property was cited for 94-442-E, landscaping with swale and parkways. I have been in communication with homeowners. We have walked over the property. I was expressed what needed to be done to comply the case. They are here present today also. We cannot come up with an agreement as far as removing the bushes. So the city is requesting 90 days additional or $200 a day in fines.
Great, thank you. And the agreement or the lack thereof is regarding what needs to be in the landscaping or the amount of days?
It's the disagreement is whether they need to remove the bushes and plant what's approved or not in the parkway.
Okay.
And as you can see in the pictures right there, it's we're talking about the 4-foot bushes between the road and the sidewalk, the entire length of the property.
And is it the footage that's the issue, or the actual tree?
It's the actual
both?
bushes material in the parkway itself,
Okay.
according to our codes, is not supposed to be there.
Okay, and you believe 90 days is sufficient time, or reasonable time, to have it removed and replanted?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you. And
Presumably this ground cover was not approved by the city?
Correct, it is unapproved. Included in the packet is in my files, there's a packet of approved material. The city would like to have sod placed there. If sod is not pretty enough or they want a different option, there's 4 other options for ground cover that's approved that they're allowed to have.
And you took the photographs we're seeing,
That's correct.
and they truthfully and accurately depict the what you observed the violations to be?
That's correct.
Okay. At this time, Special Magistrate, we're asking that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file be admitted into evidence as the record.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
James Houston.
And Ted Odom.
Mr. Houston, you're the owner of the property?
We are
We both are.
joint owners, yes.
Do you have any objections to the documents the city would like to put in evidence?
No.
No, but I have some comments.
Hold on 1 second. I promise I'll give you a chance. Without objection, I'll enter in evidence the evidentiary case file in this case. The city's composite exhibit is approved in evidence. Okay, go ahead.
Can I just say something real quickly? We were unaware that we were not in compliance because we worked with a landscape architect and a landscape company who we thought got the approval 3.5 years ago. And then we were in this room in 2022 when the city gave us the Historic Preservation Award. So we had no reason to think we weren't in compliance. So now that we know we're not, we have filed for a application permit or a permit application with the landscape department to see if they'll approve shrubbery, which we understand they have approved in the past. So we appreciate the 90-day extension while they review the permit application.
And I'd like to add that the shrubbery are cocoa plums, and they are native plants to Florida. They require very little water. Sod requires more water and fertilizer. The fertilizer will end up in the storm drains and into the intracoastal. The cocoa plum is great for birds because they eat the fruit, and it's also drought tolerant.
But we
Yeah,
understand that it's the
I
landscape
don't-
department that
yeah,
approves.
I don't make that substantive decision. That's a policy decision that the city makes. I have a very limited purview. Whatever the code is and whatever the facts are, I see whether the facts constitute a violation of the code, and then I give you time to correct. Now, whether or not the city should permit that or not, that's a legislative decision that the city makes about what the appropriate ground cover is, and it sounds like you've got a good argument, and you probably should make that to your policymakers.
Thank you.
All right, without any further testimony, I'm going to make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is good and sufficient, I find the property in violation of 94442E. I'm going to give the respondent 90 days to come into compliance, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. 90 days is a good amount of time, but that stuff does move very quickly, so you should stay on top of it and let the code officer know where you are, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 5, CE 2406-2169, case address 817 31st Street.
Did you say 5?
Yeah, I think it was 4. Is it 4 or 5?
It's 5.
5? Okay, I have it backwards. All right, good morning. Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. While on routine patrol, I saw a vehicle parked on the grass at the property located at 817 31st Street. I initiated my investigation on August 1st, 2024. This property is occupied. They observed the following violations: 18-106K, which was landscape maintenance, and 94-482-A, unpaved parking. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing. The notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on August 9th, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted the NOV on the property and at City Hall on August 9th, 2024, and I also completed an affidavit of posting, which is in this case file, on August 9th, 2024. I revisited the property on September 13th, 2024, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the landscape maintenance code 18-106-K only. I took the photos at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, the photographs show that the violation still exists on the property, and all photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner, Ms. Carey, she is present, and I have made contact with her multiple times via email, phone, as well as in person. The owner is seeking to expand her driveway, which requires a permit. The owner is aware that a permit is needed, and recently just finalized everything with her contractor to start this project as early as Monday of next week. As of today, the permit process has not started yet. So the owner and I, we have discussed an extension time and believe that 60 days is enough time to get the permit and comply the landscape maintenance violation. With that being said, the city is asking for an additional 60 days to comply, and if no compliance, at the end of the 60-day, $100 per day fine. Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. You may have said it. Has the permit been applied for?
No, not yet. The contractor is going to start that permit process as early as next week.
And the permit is through the city, correct?
That is
And-
correct, to expand the driveway.
Okay, and the processing, to your knowledge, that the city has processing these permits, 60 days is a reasonable time?
Yes, 60 days is a reasonable time, yes.
Okay, great, thank you. Nothing further from the city. We're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file be admitted as evidence into the record. Special magistrate.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Carrie Beach, owner.
Do you have any objections to the documents the city would like to put in evidence?
Nope.
Without objection, I'll accept in evidence the evidence your case file in this case is the city's composite exhibit. So the city wants to give you, says that you have landscaping issues, I guess where you want to expand your driveway, and they want to give you 60 days to get the permit and come into compliance?
Mhm.
Is that a sufficient amount of time for you?
Yeah, I mean, the contractor said it's pavers. It should take 3 days, so as long as permitting and everything goes through, there should be no issue. Should be fairly quick.
Okay. All right, in case CE 24062-169, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the listed code sections. I give the respondent 60 days to come into compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. So you're going to get the 60 days, but, you know, as I told the person previously, or sometimes the time moves quicker than we think. So make sure you stay in touch with the code officer and let them know your progress, okay?
Okay.
Case number 16, CE 2408-2438, case address 1200 Florida Avenue.
Thank you.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 1200 Florida Ave the violations were observed while my routine patrol in my area. This property was cited for 94-442-E, landscape swale and maintenance, landscape swales and parkways. 74-4-C-1, hurricane hazard. 18-106-B, excessive growth. And 74-4-C-5, clean to the center of adjoining alleyway right-of-way. This property was initially cited August 6, 2024. Both City Hall and the property were posted August 6th. Certified mail was returned August 9th. I have been in contact with the property owner who is here today with us present. We have walked the property, we've gone through a plan to get everything in compliance. He has done a whole bunch of work, cutting, trimming, planting, doing everything getting almost everything he needs done. He still has a little bit more trimming to do and a couple more things to plant, so the city's requesting 90 additional days or $200 in fines if compliance is not achieved.
Great, thank you. And the property owner is in agreement with the 90 days?
Correct.
And you believe that's reasonable time?
Yes,
And the photographs that we're looking at, those were taken by yourself?
that's correct.
And they truthfully and accurately depict the violations that we're discussing today?
Yes, they do.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file to be admitted into evidence as the record, please.
I'm sorry, you were seeking 90 days and what fine?
200?
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Sean Scully.
And sir, are you the owner of the property?
Yes, along with my spouse.
Do you have any objections to the documents that the city would like to put in evidence?
No.
The city wants to give you 90 days to come into compliance. Is that a sufficient amount of time?
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell me, sir?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We've been residents of this property for 32 years, and when the property was purchased, Grandview Heights was not a historic district, nor was it. I think it was even featured on HBO as Cracktown, USA. We, under our ownership, have curated the property as well as participate in the improvement of the historic district. And at that time, we either were not aware or there did not exist the code enforcement's regulations that were in place today. We don't disagree with them as they are in place. I just wanted to state for the record that we are long-term residents of this property and we care very much about our historic district. This came as a sudden expense for us. We are both retired, but we managed to recognize the priority and we made arrangements to personally ourselves spend money having the coconut tree fronds cut down, etc. And I think that reflects our intent to comply with the notice of violation. What I wanted to add for the record, though, is that I believe the city could further lead by example. Our front property faces a wide median on Florida Avenue, which has several coconut palms that, according to the statutes or the
Hurricane hazard.
Ordinance?
for the regulations that the city requires, are not in compliance. And what I was told by the city is that there is one worker on their workforce for the entire 38,000 acres within the city's jurisdiction that's responsible for cutting and maintaining compliance on city property. So that's my only statement. I would like to ask the city to consider prioritizing their resources as we did to come into compliance. Thank you.
All right, in this case, I'm going to make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I found the property in violation of the listed code sections. I'm going to respond at 90 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. 90 days is a good amount of time, but it does seem like you do have a fair amount of work to do, so please do stay in touch with the code officer, and I'm sure they listen very carefully to the things that you had to say, okay?
Thank you. Yes.
Thanks.
That concludes the contested cases. Case number 1, CE 2406-2192, case address 707 45th Street.
Good morning. Santa Mills Code Compliance Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. Property address 707 45th Street was cited on June 26, 2024. The property was cited for 94-302-A-4 fence repair, as well as 18-106-A clean and sanitary, 94-442-E open areas in the swale/park area. The service was accomplished by both regular and certified mail sent on June 26, 2024. Certified mail was signed for on July 1st, 2024. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on August 30, 2024. I have not been in contact with the owner of the property. However, I did speak with the tenants of the property in regards to the swale area and the trash and the open area. And this was on June 21st, 2024. As of yesterday, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for an additional 30 days and $100 per day thereafter if compliance is not achieved.
I'm sorry, what was the amount?
100.
And is the property occupied or vacant?
It is occupied.
And you were not able to speak with the property owner or anyone that's occupying the property?
Not the property owner, but the tenants of the property.
Okay. And you took the photographs we're reviewing today,
That's correct.
and they truthfully and accurately depict the violations being discussed?
They do.
At this time, Special Magistrate, we're asking for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file to be admitted into evidence as the record, please.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as city's composite exhibit. I can see the fence. The clean and sanitary, I presume, is the trash and debris that's on the property.
That's
What's
correct.
the landscaping issue? Is that the missing sod?
That's correct. Sod as well as the trash and debris in the swale area.
And do you believe 30 days is sufficient amount of time for them to bring this into compliance?
That's correct.
All right, in case CE 24062192, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient from the property in violation of the listed code sections. I adopt by reference the testimony of the code officer as to the nature of those violations. I give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 2, CE 2408-2499, case address 811 44th Street has been complied. Case number 3, CE 2407-2329, case address 550 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 1004.
Good morning. Need to be sworn in.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury and the laws of the state of Florida?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Kevin Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. The property located at 550 Okeechobee Boulevard, Unit 1004, was cited for not having a rental license, certificate of use, and evidence of engaging in business, contrary to City Codes 22-441, 22-32-A, and 82-151. On July 23, 2024, a notice of violation identifying the violations and my contact information was sent to the property owner. The notice was sent by regular mail and certified mail on July 23, 2024. Certified mail was signed for on July 29, 2024. On August 1, 2024, the property owner applied for a rental license. The license was processed, and on August 14, 2024, I left the property owner a voicemail with my contact information explaining the process in which we need to complete the rental license application and process. Letting them know that the property needed to be inspected and pass the inspection. To date, I have not heard back from the property owner on doing an inspection on this property. On August 22nd, 2024, both the property and City Hall was posted, and a completed affidavit of posting is in the case file. City is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
You said 30 days or 20 days?
30 days,
Okay, or, I'm sorry, I didn't get the amount.
$200 a day thereafter.
And you have not, you're saying that they have not scheduled the inspection to
No,
get,
ma'am.
which is the next step?
They have
to
not
get it.
responded to the request for an inspection.
Okay, and when did you request that inspection?
August 14th.
Okay. Thank you.
So they've done everything but the inspection?
Everything but the inspection. And the inspection is required. I mean, it's a condo building, which you would think that things don't go wrong in there, but I did 2 inspections in the last 2 weeks and they failed the inspection. So it has to be inspected.
But you didn't do an inspection of this unit?
No, I did inspections on 2 other condos that failed the inspection in that building.
Have you spoken to the tenant in the,
No.
but presumably since they applied for a permit, they're renting the unit?
Yes, sir.
All right, in case CE 2407239, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice sufficient to find the property in violation of listed code sections. I hereby give the respondent 30 days to bring the property into compliance by getting their inspection and passed, or a fine of $200 per day may issue. For the record, I accept and evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit.
Case number 4, CE 24072337, case address 550 Okeechobee Boulevard, 1407.
Kevin Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property located at 550 Okeechobee Boulevard, Unit 1407, was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use.
Can you do me a favor and just talk a little bit more into the mic? Because
I'm sorry.
No worries.
The property located at 550 Okeechobee Boulevard, Unit 1407, was cited for failing to have a rental license, certificate of use, and engaging in business, contrary to City Codes 22-441, 22-32-A, and 82-151. On July 24, 2024, a notice of violation identifying the violations and my contact information was sent to the property owner. The notice was sent regular mail and certified mail on July 25th. Certified mail was signed for on July 29, 2024. On July 30, 2024, I received a phone call from the property owner, and during that conversation, I emailed the property owner an application for the rental license with guidance as to how to complete it and get it back to me. The respondent did not respond until August 23rd, 2024, after he tried faxing their application to me, to which I told him that in the initial conversation to email it back to me. On August 26th, I did receive the application, and it was processed on August 27 by Marcia Davis. On August 3rd, 2024, I sent the respondent an email informing him that he needed to pay the fee and set an appointment for the inspection. Payment was made on September 6th, and I received a voicemail from him on September 10th, responded to the voicemail, leaving him a voicemail with no response to this date. I posted the property on City Hall on August 22nd, 2024, and a completed affidavit of posting is in the case file. City is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
And what was the compliance date that you were requesting on this property?
When you say the compliance, when you say the,
How soon do they need to be in compliance for the rental license? I'm hearing that they reached out to you on the 10th of September?
yes,
And so you're now asking for 30 days
30,
and 200, okay,
Yes.
got it. And you believe that's a reasonable amount of time?
yes.
Okay. Nothing further, Special Magistrate.
Without objection, I'll accept an evidence the Hampshire case file. In this case, the city's composite exhibit. So this is another one where they've done everything but the inspection.
But the inspection. So we go above and beyond to get them to do the inspections. We send them the application forms and ask them to send it back to us. We would get it processed for them in a timely fashion, and still, some just don't comply.
Looks like a nice place, though, huh? All right, in case CE 240723337, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the listed code sections, specifically failure to obtain a business license and renting a property without a permit require them to get the inspection within 30 days and pass it, or a fine of up to $200 per day, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Case number 6, CE 24082458, case address 3025 Windsor Avenue.
Good morning, Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. While on patrol, I saw outdoor storage and auto repair taking place at 3025 Windsor Avenue. I initiated my investigation on August 2nd, 2024. This property is occupied. There, I observed the following violations: 94-71-C, outdoor storage; 94-485-A, use of parking area; 18-106-A, clean and sanitary, particularly the driveway; 18-106-K, landscape maintenance; 34-102-A, inoperable vehicles; 74-34-A-1-H, trash containers in public view; 94-6, restriction upon land use. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on August 13th, 2024 by the city's clerk. The notice of violation was posted on the property and city hall by Code Officer Robert Watkins on August 12th, 2024. An affidavit of posting was also completed by Officer Watkins, and it is in a case file. That affidavit of posting was completed also on August 12th of 2024. I revisited the property on September 13th as well as September 16th, 2024. During both visits, I observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code section: 34-102-A, that's the inoperable vehicle; 94-6, that's the restriction upon land use; and 94-485-A, use of the parking area. I took the photos at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property. The following photographs show that the violation still exists on the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. I have not made contact with the property owner, but I did make contact with the property owner's brother and current resident, Adrian, on September 17th, 2024 via phone. During the phone conversation, we discussed the remaining code violations, how to comply them, and this hearing date. We also discussed the ceasing of the unpaid parking, which I did not cite it for, but pointed out to its attention. We also discussed an additional 30 days to comply the remaining code violation, which Adrian agreed is enough time to comply the remaining code violation. With that being said, the city is asking for 30 days to comply. If no compliance, a daily fine of $100, nothing further.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, we're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file be admitted as evidence into the record.
No objection, I'll admit the testimony, photos, and other evidence into evidence as city's composite exhibit. So we're just down to the 3 code sections, Officer Lattimore?
Yes, that is correct, and I'll just run through them if you don't mind to give a little more information about each one. The 34-1028 inoperable vehicles, obviously, they need to be removed from public view. 94-6 restriction upon land use. This home is in a residential district, and the business that I post up, Adrian Auto Repair, the land is being used for a auto repair business, which is prohibited in the city. So that's the site for 94-6. And then the 94-485-A, the use of the parking area is, again, storing those vehicles that are not supposed to be there and any other additional vehicles while working on them in that parkway area. So those are the 3 violations that are still remaining.
So this is basically all the same thing. He's running a mechanic shop out of a house, so he's parking the cars, doing something that's not permitted in a residential area, and has cars that are in disrepair.
You got it, correct.
Okay. And he says he's going to get it all moved out of there in 30 days?
30 days, yep. That's,
okay. All right, CE 2408245A, to make the following findings of fact and law, I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 94-6, 94-45A, and 134-102A, all as part of running a car repair business in a residential neighborhood as prohibited by code, parking those cars there and having junk or cars in disrepair parked on the property. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance or fine the amount of $100 per day may issue.
Case number 7, CE 24072364, case address 701 North Point Parkway.
Officer Williams, I sense tax receipt cases coming my way.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Tom Williams, Code Enforcement. I cited, which one is this one? Building Solutions. Okay, I cited Building Solutions on July 29th of 24 for a business tax receipt. That code section is the 82-144. There was no history of a previous license with the city. So therefore, we sent certified mail and regular mail out on July 29th of 24. And that certified mail was signed on August 5th of 24. City Hall and the property was posted September 5th of 24. No contact with the owners of the property. However, I was able to verify that they still exist because I received a tenant list from the management company, and they're still operating at that location. So my recommendation is a one-time fine of $250.
Okay, thank you. Have they applied for the business tax
No,
receipt?
no history at all.
But have you spoken with anyone from the property management company?
Correct. They provided me with a list of tenants at that location, which this company up here.
So they are aware that there's a need for the business tax receipt?
The management company, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. Requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony in the case file be admitted into, as evidence into the record, please.
No objection, I'll admit the testimony and evidence testimony and documents into evidence as city's composite exhibit. So this Building Solutions LLC is renting a place in the building, and you spoke with the management company and they said that they are currently operating there?
That's correct.
Okay. And what is the, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what your recommendation was.
One-time fine of $250.
And to the best of your knowledge, they've never had a business receipt?
Not City of West Palm, no.
All right, in case CE 240272364, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 82144, failure to obtain a business receipt. Issue one-time fine, the amount of $250.
Case number 8, CE 24072362, case address 701 North Point Parkway.
Don Williams, cited Title Matters LLC for business tax receipt. I cited this business owner July 29th of 24 for code section 82-144. There's no history of business tax previous with the city of West Palm Beach. Certified mail and regular mail was mailed out July 29th of 24. The certified mail was signed for August 5th of 24. City Hall and the property was posted September 5th of 24. No contact with the business owners. Again, this business appeared on the tenant list operating at their location that I received from the property management. So my recommendation again is a one-time fine of $250.
Okay, nothing further, thank you. We're requesting that the case file and the testimony of the code enforcement officer be admitted into evidence at this time.
Without objection, so admitted into evidence. When you go there, do you knock on the door and see if...
Well, actually, yes, but the door that you see there in the picture is locked, and they have a camera, so nobody actually come to the door.
So nobody responds. But the company that owns the building
Yeah,
verified...
They have a key fob there, and they have cameras, but nobody comes out.
But the owner of the building verified that the business is operating?
They hide behind that door.
All right, in case CE 2407232, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 82144, and I issue a one-time fine, the amount of $250.
Case number 9, CE 24072363, case address 701 North Point Parkway.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. I cited Law Officer Robert J. Kanjian for a business tax receipt. I cited him on July 29th of 24. Code section was cited 82-144. No history of a previous business tax with the city of West Palm. Certified mail and regular mail mailed out July 29th of 24. The certified mail was signed for August 5th of 24. City Hall and the property was posted September 5th of 24. No contact with the property owners. However, this business does operate out of that according to the property management company. Say they're still operating at that location. My recommendation again is a one-time fine of $250.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting that the case file as well as the testimony be accepted into evidence as the record.
Without objection, documents and testimony are accepted in evidence. I guess this is the same, right?
Same location, same door.
All right, in case CE 2407233, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 82144, issue a one-time fine of $250.
Case number 10, CE 24082433, case address 444 34th Street.
Good morning, Jesus Mendiola, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I received a complaint for the property at 444 34th Street on July 29, 2024. The property is occupied. The violations I discovered is 18-106-A, which is pressure wash the sidewalks, trash and debris, 78-6-2, which was missing rear address characters. The property was cited on August 5th, 2024. Certified regular mail were sent on August 5th, 2024. It was signed. Notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on September 6, 2024. I completed the affidavit of posting. The photographs taken accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed. I did have contact with the property owner. He is currently out of the state and will return back later this month. So we had agreed on 30 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, great. And you stated that the 30 days was agreed to by the
Correct.
property owner, and you believe that's a reasonable time?
Correct.
Thank you so much. At this time, Special Magistrate, we're requesting that the photographs be admitted into, photographs, the case file, and the testimony of the code enforcement officer being admitted as evidence into the record, please.
Without objection, so admitted into evidence. So the number's still an issue?
Correct. They don't have address characters in the alleyway.
And the clean and sanitary, is that just the dirty walkway and
The dirty walkway, and trash and debris and other stuff that like on the sidewalk, they still have like dirt on it, which like goes with cleaning up the sidewalk.
And you said 30 days or $100 per day?
Correct.
And did you say you had any contact with the owner?
Yeah, he's out of state, will be returning on the, I believe, 27th, 28th of this month, and he said 30 days should be enough.
Okay. All right, in case CE 240824433, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice sufficient to find the property in violation of 7862, failure to obtain and place properly address characters, and 18106A, clean and sanitary, trash and debris, and on the property, respondent has 30 days to bring the property into compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Case number 11, CE 24082493, case address 1841 North Tamarind Avenue.
Good morning, Jesus Mandela, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I received a complaint about 1841 North Tamarind on August 7th, 2024. The violations I discovered were 94-71-C, outdoor storage, 94-485-E, pressure washer driveway, 94-442-E, swell needs to be sodded, 94-442-C-1, the front yard needs to be sodded, 18-106-A, the trash and debris, and 18-105-J, which the exterior of the structure needs to be painted. The property was cited on August 12, 2024, certified and regular mail were sent on August 13, 2024, it was returned. Notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on August 15, 2024. I completed affidavit posting. The photographs taken accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed. I've had no contact with the property. As of yesterday, the property is still in violation of all violations cited. The city is asking for 45 days to gain compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, thank you. I'm just looking at the photos. Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the photographs, the code enforcement officer's testimony, and the case file to be admitted as evidence into the record, please.
Without objection, so admitted. Hey, have you spoken to the owner of the property, or I guess is a church?
Yes, it's a church. I have no contact from them. I haven't heard anything from them or have any contact information.
Have you seen anybody occupying the building?
As far as I know, no. I wouldn't say it was vacant because, it's a church. I don't know if they open only on Sundays or, on weekends. So that's why I'm not claiming it's vacant. But
Have you seen any evidence that they're trying to comply?
no.
And all of the code sections are still at issue?
Correct.
Can you walk me through the facts supporting each of these?
For the outdoor storage, they have a grill, chair, a table out in the back. They had the chair on blocking the sidewalk at one point. The pressure washer driveway, they have like oil stains and various other stains on the driveway that need to be pressure washed. The swell, has completed with dirt. Various pictures, you can see just the leaves from the trees that are falling on it. That needs to be sodded, and then the front yard has a part where it's only dirt that needs to be sodded as well. 18106A that's the trash and debris that they have laying around the property as well. And 18105J is the paint, the exterior, where they have parts where it's chipping, and also parts where they have mildew all over the building.
All right, in case CE 240824493, I make the following findings of fact and law. Find the notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the listed code sections. I adopt by reference the testimony to the code officer as to the nature of those violations. I give the respondent 45 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Case number 12, CE 24082517, case address 235 30th Street.
Good morning, Jesus Gonzalez, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I got a complaint about the property 235 30th Street on July 12, 2024. The property is occupied. The violations I discovered are 22-32-A, no certificate of use, 82-144, no business tax receipt. After investigating the property, it was cited on August 14, 2024. Regular and certified mail were sent on August 15, 2024. It was signed. The notice of violation was posted at the property in City Hall on September 6, 2024. I completed the affidavit of posting. The photographs taken accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed. I did have contact with somebody from the property, Ms. Megan, who is currently representing the halfway home. She had said that the owners looking to demo the house. So as of yesterday, the violation is still current. They haven't applied for the correct license. They had first applied for a rental license, not a halfway home. So the city is asking for 30 days to gain compliance or $100 a day.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony in the case file be accepted into evidence, into the record.
Without objection, I'll accept those testimony, documents, and evidence. Officer Menigula, the property is currently being used as a business that's a halfway house, is that correct?
Correct. Included is a police CAT report where it shows that they had someone on someone else's property, and then when police responded to that, they were able to find out that he belonged to the house in front of the property, and the property manager came out and confirmed that it was a halfway house.
And as of today, there is no license or business tax receipt for that business?
Correct.
Okay. In case CE 24082517, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of listed code sections. I adopt by reference the testimony of the code officers to the nature of those violations. Hereby give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 per name issue.
Case number 13, CE 24072311, case address 1601 16th Way.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On July 22nd, while conducting a rental inspection at the location at 1601 16th Way, I observed violations within the unit. The shower was replaced without permit. I then cited the property for rental license violation 22-441, certificate of use 22-32-A, and permits required 105-1. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted September 4th. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent July 22nd. Certified mail was signed for September 14th. I have been in contact with the property owner. I left him a message on his phone yesterday. He did return my phone call this morning. He's aware of the proceedings today. The application has been applied for the permits. It was applied for on August 16th. It is indicating that it does need resubmittal. So I did leave that on the property owner's message, and he's aware. He's in agreement with that. With that being said, city's recommending 90 days to bring the property to compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Great, thank you so much. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony and the case file to be admitted into evidence as the record.
Without objection, admitted into evidence. So they don't currently have a rental license?
No, because they were unable to pass the rental inspection due to the work done inside without permits. So once they obtain the permits,
So if they gotta obtain the permits, once they obtain the permits, they gotta
Gotta
have
pass the
another
inspection.
inspection, and then okay,
correct.
all right. And you believe
Domino effect.
yeah, and you believe 90 days is a sufficient amount of time to accomplish this?
I believe so, because they have applied, they're just going through the process.
Okay. All right, in case CE 240723111, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice sufficient to find the property in violation of 22441 and 2232A, certificate of use and failure to obtain a rental license. Respondent has 90 days to come to compliance or fine of $200 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Case number 14, CE 24082456, case address 731 Avon Road.
Good morning again, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property, 731 Avon Road, was initially observed during my routine patrol through my assigned zone. The property was initially cited August 6th, 2024. Certified mail was sent out August 6th. Both City Hall and the property are posted August 7th, and certified mail was returned September 12th. This property was cited for 94-442-E, landscaping of swales and parkways. I have not been in contact with the property owner, and the city is requesting an additional 90 days or $200 a day in fines if the property is not in compliance.
And you stated you have not been in contact with the property owner,
I have not
correct?
had any contact with the property owner.
Is the property vacant or occupied to your
It's
knowledge?
occupied.
Okay. And you took the photographs we're looking at today, correct?
That's correct.
And they truthfully and accurately depict the violations being discussed today?
Yes, they do.
Great, thank you. At this point, Special Magistrate, we're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs be admitted in evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. So what is wrong with their landscaping
If
and
you go to my
swales?
pictures, in the initial, you can do the initial or either or. The parkway specifically is only supposed to have approved plant material. And as you can see, it's bare ground in most of it. Keep going to the other picture. Oh, keep going, keep going. See the bushes that are sticking up, that big bush right there? The rocks, there's dirt, things like that. All that stuff has to be removed. The city would like to have sod down. As I stated earlier, if sod's not good enough, they are allowed 4 other options for approved ground cover. It's included in the packet that I sent to the homeowner and in this file. The tall bushes in the middle, that small little palm tree in between the two of them, so we're talking about between the road and the sidewalk. So it'd be that big bush to your left, right there and there, those 2 bushes right there. And then there's bare ground to the bottom of the screen, bare dirt.
Okay. In case CE 240825456, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice sufficient. I find the property in violation of 94442E. Respondent has 90 days to come to compliance by fixing their landscaping in their swale and parkway to that which complies with the city code within 90 days, or a fine of $200 per day may issue.
Case number 17, CE 24082545, case address 428 Westwood Road.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 428 Westwood Road was initially cited August 19th. Both certified mail was sent out August 20th. Both City Hall and the property were posted August 20th, and certified mail was returned August 24th. This property was cited for 18106B, excessive growth, and 94-442-E, landscape, swales, and parkways. I have been in contact with the owner. I've been out to the property with her. We talked about what she needed to do to comply the property.
Goodness.
She has been working very, very hard to get rid of those sawgrass, whatever that is, that tall plant material, and it is all removed. She hasn't replaced it with the sod yet, so the city's going to be giving her another 90 days to comply, or $200 in fines if the compliance isn't achieved. If you go to my, right there, non-compliance picture, she has worked hard to remove all that, and she's just waiting on the sod to be delivered. So she's almost there.
Yeah, okay, great, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the photographs of the testimony and the case file to be admitted into evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. In case CE 24082545, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice sufficient from the property in violation of listed code sections, both excessive growth and landscaping of the parkway. I give the respondent 90 days to come to compliance or a fine of $200 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Case number 18, CE 24062201, case address 416 56th Street.
City of West Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited on June 27th. Certified mail was sent June 27th. Certified mail is still in transit due to the U.S. Postal Service. City Hall was posted July the 1st. This property was cited for 18-106M landscape maintenance and 74-34A-1-H, which is trash can, garbage can, and public view. I took all the pictures. I revisited the property on yesterday. I have had correspondence with the property owner about a week ago. They were supposed to get those things taken care of, and nothing was done. At this point, the city is requesting 20 days at $150 per day after.
And you went out the morning. You went out yesterday, you stated, and nothing has been complied with.
Those pictures yesterday, and it was actually nothing at all was done.
And those photographs truthfully and accurately depict the violations being discussed today?
Yes.
Thank you. And nothing further at this time, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file be admitted into evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. I can see the trash can. What's the issue with the landscape?
It just hasn't been cut. It's overgrown in certain areas. You can even see that in the driveway. You can see it out on the curbside as well. It's either overgrown in some places or it doesn't exist in others. You can see there all along the fence line, the weeds have grown out into.
Yeah, it seems like a fair amount of work. I'm going to give them 30 days just to be consistent with how I've been doing this. In case CE 24062201, make the following findings of fact and life. I notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of the two code sections, trash can and public view, and the maintenance of their landscaping. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or fine of $150 per day may issue.
Case number 19, CE 24062099, case address 429 56th Street.
City of West Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited on June 11th. Certified mail was sent June 11th. Certified mail still shows in transit since July the 4th. City Hall was posted on June the 12th. This property was cited for 18-106A, trash and debris, 18-106B, high grass, 74-34A-1-H, garbage can and public view, and 94-71SC, outdoor storage. I went to the property yesterday again. Every single violation that was cited is still existent as of yesterday. I took all photographs. All the photographs accurately depict what I saw when I was there. For this, the city is requesting an additional 30 days at $150 per day after.
Great, thank you. You said 150 days, right?
$150 per day and 30 days to gain compliance.
That's what I meant, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the photographs and the code enforcement officer's testimony and case file be admitted into evidence as the record, please.
All right, without objection, so admitted. All right, I can definitely see the excessive growth. I can see the trash can, outdoor storage. Is that pile of, what is that, wood?
Bricks.
Bricks?
Yeah.
And clean and sanitary, what is that? Is that the trash that was sitting out there?
Yeah, there's trash right by the garbage can and driver. There's bags of, it might be contractor debris, it might be just regular trash, but they've been there for quite some time.
And you've seen no evidence they're trying to bring this into compliance?
None at all. I know I sent over the building, they did a stop work order. They seem to have gotten their permits to continue the siding, but they haven't done anything reference to outdoor landscaping or.
All right, in case CE 24062099, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice sufficient from the property in violation of listed code sections. I doubt by reference the testimony of the code officer as to the nature of those violations. I give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance or fine of $150 per day may issue.
Case number 20, CE 24062128, case address 702 50th Street.
City of West Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited on June 12th. Certified mail was sent June 12th. Certified mail is still in transit. U.S. Postal Service from July 18th. property and City Hall was posted on June 17th. This property was cited for 18-106B high grass, 78-6 numbering standards, 94-442 C-1 sodding of the yard, and 94-42A unpaved parking. As of yesterday, the only violations that come into compliance were the 18-106B, the high grass, the 78-6 numbering standards, and the 94-42A, the unpaved parking. As of yesterday, the only remaining violation would be 94-442 C-1, and it's just sodding on the west side of the front unit. I last visited the property yesterday. All the photos I took accurately shows what I saw when I was there. I've had correspondence with the property owner via email. The last correspondence was a week ago, telling me that it would be complied by today. So the city is requesting an additional 30 days to sod the west side of the home at $100 per day after until compliance is achieved.
Great, thank you. And just to confirm, the 30 days is for that one site that's not complied with, the landscape
Yes, ma'am.
grass. Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the case file, the photographs, as well as the code enforcement officer's testimony to be admitted as evidence, please.
Without objection, so admitted. In case CE 2406212A, to make the following findings of fact and law, I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 94442C1. Specifically, there needs to be sodding on the west side of the property. Respondent has 30 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Case number 20, CE 24062202, case address 710 51st Street.
City of West Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited on June 27th. Certified mail was sent June 27th. Certified mail is still in transit as of July 18th. City Hall and property was posted on August the 13th. This property was cited for 18-106B high grass, 18-106M landscape maintenance. As of yesterday, neither one of those violations has come into compliance. I've took all the photographs. Every image shows exactly what I saw when I was there. I have not had any correspondence with the property owner. At this time, the city is requesting an additional 30 days at $100 per day after.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, nothing further at this time, Special Magistrate. We're requesting for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs to be admitted into evidence at this time.
All right, without objection, so admitted. So nobody's responded to you at all on this property?
No, not even a lawnmower.
Did they take the notice down from the door?
Yes.
And no evidence that they've tried to cut or trim any of these?
I check often for something so simple as that to see if they cut it, I could comply it and then communicate with them on keeping it done, but no one's done anything there.
Somebody is living there, or at least
I
appears to
haven't
be
seen
living.
another vehicle. I do know that there used to be a gentleman who lived there, drove a van. I haven't seen the van in a while, but the white car's still there.
All right, in case CE 240622202, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 18106M and 18106B, specifically the landscaping is not being maintained and the landscape is not being trimmed to the required heights. Respondent has 30 days to come into compliance. What fine were you looking for in this case? I didn't write it down.
Say again?
What fine were you looking for?
$100 per day for
A fine of $100 per day, may issue.
So that concludes the regular items. Are we doing the sanitation?
Yes, that's what caused my delay just now. I was trying to figure out the agenda and
I thought you were carefully studying the.
why it's so piecemeal.
Okay, so sanitation case number 27.
Hold on one second, please. I just want to make sure that the notice, what time, if any, the notice on the sanitation case, so we're not in.
I told him to come in by 11, even, because I know other matters are.
Sure, no, it's not your fault at all. Yeah, we just want to
I know
know.
they'll be here by 11.
Okay.
I mean, so if we could do that, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
if they come in any earlier, I'll let you know. I mean, I think the 17, 16 Florida might be here a little bit earlier, so.
Yeah, if you said by 11, then.
Yeah,
then
we'll
we
say
should-
by 11, we have to be at 11. Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, so we're going to take a break until 11, so. Good morning. I am the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for today's hearing. I want to begin by explaining how this process is going to work. When you hear your case called, go ahead and proceed to the podium on my right-hand side. The city will put on its testimony and evidence first. You'll have an opportunity to review the evidence and ask questions of any of the city's witnesses. Then you'll have an opportunity to testify and present me with any of your own evidence. Once I have the testimony and evidence, I will make a ruling. You will receive a copy of that ruling in the next few days. If you have any questions as we go through the process, feel free to ask them. This is not a formal courtroom. The formal rules of evidence do not apply here. However, all testimony is taken under oath under penalty of perjury. So if you're going to testify, or you think you might testify, or there's a possibility that you might testify, would you please rise and raise your right hand so I can swear you in? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
All right, case number 27, SN 24071472. Case address is 912 Division Avenue.
The officer is on, he's just coming out from the garage, so he'll be here in a few minutes. He's done.
Okay, why don't we hold this one and do the next one?
And the same thing with, and there's my neighbor, the reverend, that it's also on its way. He wants to say something. Okay.
Is that, we just have those two, right?
Correct.
Yeah, for both the sanitation cases, yes.
Oh,
I know, usually other matters are like 11:30, but and I told him to be here by 11, so.
All right, well, let's,
I know.
I think those aren't scheduled
Yeah,
till
we don't have
11:30.
Is Marcus here? Yeah.
okay. All right, so
anyone that's just arrived that wasn't sworn in, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury and the laws of the state of Florida? All right, why don't you call the case again?
case number 27, SN 24071472. Case address is 912 Division Avenue.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Mark Slater, Solid Waste Compliance Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on 7/19/2024. Service was accomplished by posting the property on 7/19/2024, and a copy of the affidavit of posting is on file. I have been in contact with the owner of the property. I sent him an email regarding the hearing, schedule of the hearing. And the property was cited for 7431D, which is no service account / requires special pickup, and 7444A3, maintain the adjoining right-of-way. A reinspection of the property was conducted on 7/22/2024. It showed the property was not in compliance. Therefore, the city scheduled the removal of the code violation at the owner's expense for $300 for the removal of the debris and $50 for the reinspection, for a total of $350.
Great, thank you. And did you take the photographs that we just looked at, officer?
Yes.
And those photographs truthfully and accurately depict the observation of the violation?
Yes, that's what I observed.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the building officers, not building, sanitation officer, as well as a testimony, as well as the case file and photographs be admitted as evidence into the record.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, first of all, I want to thank you guys for your time. Magistrate, my name is Ramiro Diaz, and basically the reason
Just one second, Mr. Diaz. Do you have any objections to the documents or testimony that the officer would like to put into evidence?
Do I have any what, I'm sorry?
Objections?
No.
All right, without objection, I'll accept in evidence the arbitrary case file as city's composite exhibit. Okay, go ahead, sir.
So, I just got this property, and I've been complying with all the needs on it. And as I was explaining to Officer Joseph on this issue, this is the first time I've gone through this situation where I have a company, I have a landscaping company that comes up, and do the maintenance and takes care of it. And I'm always also trying to stay on top of it, and the neighborhood knows it. And as a matter of fact, Reverend Gilbert, who has a church across the street, he'd seen me clean, and he was aware about this, and he said he was going to come trying to make it because he wanted to say something on my behalf or on behalf of what I'm trying to do. So my point here is I'm here in good faith and to try to understand, because I could be getting one of these citations every single day, and I want to just to create a presence and of my good faith. I drove this morning, and I have another pile just like that on the same spot, and I left a message to the officers on regards. So, I took some pictures of how constantly I am in the property, and how often I come in and clean, and it's in good shape. I got a letter from the company that it's doing the maintenance, and they've been doing it for many months, and they come and do the cleaning. But it's just one of those things that I find it very difficult, and if I can get some advice or some directions, or if you can help me at this time, I would like to consider maybe putting a fence in it, some signs. I'm not sure, a camera of what would work, because my biggest fear and concern is, like I said, is that I can be getting one of this every single day. I live in Wellington, and as much as I come over, I do come very often and try to maintain it, and I'm and in a good faith. I'm always trying to do the good stuff in the area, and the neighborhood have seen it. So I'm not the one who's dumping that for sure, but I wanted to see if you guys can consider my situation and at least at this time help me while I figure something, either put in a fence or making some other alternatives to help on this thing not happening again.
So help me out here. So the issue is that people are dumping stuff on the property? Is that what's going on here?
I've only written the property up one time.
And so from the city's point of view, it was just that there was a pile of trash there, you asked them to remove it, and it wasn't removed, and the city removed it?
Correct. It was posted on a Friday, and it was picked up on a Monday. So the property was posted, and nobody called or within the 24-hour time frame.
Yeah, because you only have a 24-hour time frame when they post a sign or when they see it, and so it could be that one day I cleaned it, and the next day someone comes in and pubs, and I have 24 hours, and obviously if I would have been aware, I would have addressed it right away.
I mean, while I'm not unsympathetic to trying to keep your property clean, the city has basically followed their process, which is they gave you notice and you didn't remove it, and they removed it, and there's a charge for that. And that's what they're asking me for. The larger issue of how you can keep your property clean, I don't know what to tell you for that. I don't give advice from here, mostly because it would be bad. But you can certainly consult with the officer about, ways to keep your property in compliance.
Well, yes, and I have a long conversation with Officer Joseph and with them now that I know about the issue, how to, what other different approaches I can do. Like I said, even I'm considering even putting up the chain fence to see if that would help. But if you guys can just help me on this time, I would really appreciate it. This is the first time I've gone through this, and now I understand it better.
All right. Good morning. I'm Joseph Oliva, one of the supervisors for sanitation. The thing is like we can't recommend you to do something. Other people have put up fences or they've gotten cameras, to see if there is somebody dumping on the property and stuff like that. But the city can't recommend you to do something because
of course
eventually it could get turned around and say, oh, the city told us to do this, So, but like I said, other people have put up fences, they've used cameras, they visit the property a little, more frequently, to try to catch things like this.
Yes, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Like I said, I've been present a lot, and like I said, I've got a whole pictures of the days that I'm constantly checking on it, making sure it's fine. But like I said, 24 hours could be, from one day to another, or it could just be like it is right now, which I'm also going to have to request if I can get, some time just so I can pick up, because there's same trash, mattresses and couches, and it's in the same spot.
Well, I definitely encourage you to speak with the officers. In case SN 240714772, based on the facts and testimony, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property was cited and trash was removed, so the ordinance fine of $300 and $50 for the hearing is hereby assessed. Good luck. I hope you're able to address it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 28, SN 24071493, case address 1716 Florida Avenue.
Good morning.
Morning.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. My name is Mark Slater, Solid Waste Compliance Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on 7/24/2024. Service was accomplished by posting the property on 7/24/2024. A copy of the affidavit of posting is on file. I have not been in contact with the owner, but my supervisor has been in contact with the property manager who is present today. This property was cited for 7435B1, yard waste out too early. 7435B6, small and yard and garden waste shall be placed in bags. 7431D requires a special pickup. And 744A3, maintaining the adjoining right-of-ways. A reinspection of the property was conducted on 7/25/2024 at 12:35 p.m. It showed the property was not in compliance. Therefore, the city scheduled the removal of the code violation at the owner's expense for $300 for the removal of the debris and $50 for the reinspection for a total of $350.
Great, thank you. And the photographs we are looking at, you took those photographs, correct?
Yes.
And they truthfully and accurately depict the violations being discussed today?
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the sanitation officer's testimony, the case file, as well as the photographs to be admitted into evidence as to the record. Thanks.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Vivian G. Croner, K-R-O-N-E-R.
Ma'am, can you speak into the microphone in advance? You can just lower it. Can you give her a little hint with that?
Vivian G. Croner, K-R-O-N-E-R. Thank you.
Ms. Croner, are you the owner of the property?
No, sir. The owner of the property is currently in Chicago and has been since, I think since the beginning of June. But I go there regularly. I look, but may I, is it my turn to talk? I don't have any,
Well, tell me, what is your relationship to the property?
I take care of that property and all of this man's local business.
So you were, ma'am, you were hired by the property owner to take care of their property?
Yeah, I'm not hired. I do it as if, just to do it.
Are you a neighbor?
I beg your pardon?
Are you a neighbor?
I'm a neighbor of his in the building that we both dwell in. I don't live.
So you volunteered to help him maintain his property?
Yeah, for many years.
Okay.
Many.
One second. Does the city have any objection to her representing the property owner?
Yes, Special Magistrate, which is why I asked what her capacity was as it relates to the property. Yes, we would, absent her showing something from the property owner, giving her the authority to come here on his behalf and speak on his behalf at this hearing. We would have an objection to it. Do you have anything from the property owner that gives you the authority to be here to speak on his behalf regarding these violations, ma'am?
Just 20 years. I don't have any papers or anything.
And was he...
I pay all the bills.
Do you know if the property owner, he or she is aware of the hearing today?
Yes.
And they knew you were going to be here?
Yes.
But there's nothing that you can show us that he or she has given you the authority to speak on
no.
he or she's behalf?
That's the problem.
Yes.
Ma'am, you're not a lawyer, right?
I beg your pardon?
You're not a lawyer, are you?
No, I'm not.
So my problem is that without any authorization to talk on behalf of the property owner, I can't know, though you seem very honest to me, but I can't know that they gave you the authorization to speak on their behalf.
I even have the checkbook. Not that I don't wish to pay it, But if I may say something,
Hey, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you tell me what you know about the property as somebody who's visited it as a fact witness. And so just tell me what you know about the state of the property.
the state of the property
Yes.
is very, very, very good. I have two young ladies there as tenants, and the gardener goes there twice a month and takes care of
Do
everything.
you know why there was a large pile of debris sitting next to the property?
I know who's putting it there, but I can't be there all the time.
Okay.
And not only that, but if I may say so, on one occasion, I was there late when I used to drive at night. I don't drive at night anymore. And they actually emptied the dump truck and hit the light pole on the end of on the corner. It's a corner property, and it bent it right down through the bushes to the floor.
Wait, ma'am,
And
are you telling me that this plant matter isn't from that property?
it's not. I have no grass. Every single property this man owns is paved.
Hold on one second. Does that make
Tho-
any sense?
We have
Those are,
pavers.
those are hedges, and the hedge clippings are around the corner of their property.
So your belief is that these clippings are from the hedges on the property?
Yes, and then in the pictures, you could see that someone used a rake to clean, it looked like they cleaned up around the property.
Well, we don't have any grass, sir.
That's not grass, those are hedge clippings.
All right, ma'am. It sounds like you have a conversation to have with the property owner, but at this point, the city had to come clean up the property, and there's an ordinance fee for that of $300 plus a reinspection fee of $350. I'm going to assess that cost at this time, and I suggest you have a conversation with the owner of the property about how he maintains this, okay?
May I ask you if I could have some printed information to give also to the two tenants who have nothing to do with this? But I think that every time I have a new tenant, I give them all the rules of the trash removal. My gardener,
You know what, I'm gonna ask the code officer to have a conversation with you about how to properly
never-
maintain the property and stay in compliance, okay?
I've never met.
All right.
Thank you.
That concludes the sanitation cases. Moving forward with the lien reduction cases.
Ma'am, we're done, you can go.
Case number 22, CE 2006-0348. Case address 2008 Ponce de Leon Avenue.
Go ahead, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you? I need to be sworn in.
Anyone who was not already sworn in that's going to testify, would you please rise and raise your right hand? You have to stand.
Sir,
You-
please stand.
You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, please be seated.
All right, this is agenda item number 22, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, for case number CE 200-60348, 2008 Ponce de Leon Avenue. This original case was cited back in June 30th of 2020. They were cited for some sewage concerns, some items that needed to be taken care of. And I left my notes at my desk. All right. All right, so this went to a special magistrate hearing October 21st, 2020. It was ordered for the fine to start as of December 21st, 2020. This ran at $200 a day for 696 days for a total of $139,200 and was complied November 17th, 2022. Posting in this case was achieved by, service in this case was achieved by way of posting in regular mail. This is the same owner, 3 cases under their ownership with code enforcement. So the city requests a reduction to 25% of the lien, which would be a total of $34,800.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, my name's Kevin Smook. I'm the attorney for Goldfinger, which is the owner of the property. This is a claim for his...
Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Yeah, Kevin Smook, S-Z-M-U-C. I'm the attorney for Goldfinger.
Smoke? Is that
Smook, S, Z as in zebra, M as in mouse, U as in umbrella, C as in cat.
Smoke.
Smoke.
Is that right?
Smoke.
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 Okay. All right, Mr.
It's okay. You can call me Ezekiel or Kevin. Either or, it's fine.
I will try my best.
So there's a little bit of background in this violation. This property was being rented, and the tenant ultimately evicted for non-payment of rent. The tenant decided to flood the plumbing system. My client immediately, upon notice from the city of the violation, repaired this issue. However, they reported that correction to the wrong agency, as the property manager that they had back then apparently didn't have that much experience. May I approach?
Yeah, if you're going to show me a document, you need to show it to the city attorney first,
absolutely.
please. Just bring it right to her.
This is the report into the agricultural department, obviously the wrong department, by the former property manager. These are the 4 repairs. You can see the date
Okay.
on the repairs.
Okay. Marcus, did you see these ahead of time? You want to look, you can look at these first.
Those are the repairs that were done as soon as the violation kicked in. However, the property manager reported to the wrong agency. They reported to the Department of Agriculture. They didn't know that they had an ongoing violation. The city inspected, so.
Does the city have any objection to these documents?
No objection, except for, I don't see the relevance, but
Oh, we can argue about the relevance.
we can argue about the relevance later, but no objection.
So my client, through their property manager, reported the resolution to the wrong department. They had no idea that there was a violation. Up until they put the property on the market and sold it, they realized that there's a lien on the property, obviously. At which point they immediately came in and put a stop for the resolution. We had a previous application last year in which the city did go and inspect, and the city found other issues that require permitting, which are unrelated to this particular violation, but it did not move forward with the reduction hearing. The reason that took so long is because one of the permits took over 6 months, so we had to resubmit the application. And now we're here. We submitted the application. The property got re-inspected, and we're asking for a total reduction, provided that a reduction to 0, provided that my client complied as soon as the loss occurred. It didn't let the violation to continue and to accrue. Obviously, the city was not aware that the violation had been resolved, but that's plainly an administrative issue and not something that my client deserves punishment for, as they complied and kept the property in compliance with the city.
So if I understand correctly, you're asking me to reduce the fine from 139,000 to 0 based on the evidence that you're presenting to me to establish that they complied within the required compliance time?
Correct.
What's the city's response?
The city's response, as stated earlier, we're objecting to the relevance. The lien would run towards the property manager, the property owner, regardless of what the issue of their delay, which I'm understanding the owner's own property manager erroneously sent it to the incorrect agency.
Correct.
Right, that's something that's not, of course, the special magistrate is within your purview as to what you can hear as itemized in section 26 to mitigate the lien. However, I don't think that's one of the listed
May I respond?
reasons.
Well, let me let the city attorney finish, and then you can respond.
Sure.
That's pretty much it,
okay.
special magistrate. I don't
May
think,
I respond
again,
to,
I don't think that's
the-
relevant to
Okay.
requesting mitigating circumstances for a lien reduction.
Well, if I may, we believe that it is mitigating circumstances for a reduction because the whole point of having liens and violations is for individuals to comply with the city ordinance, and in this case, my client did. Essentially, my client is being punished for investing in this country, being investors from abroad that complied, kept the property up to code, and unfortunately, they did not know which means to report the curement of the violation, but they did in a timely manner and in a timely fashion.
Yeah, I'm not sure that this document for the Florida Department of Agriculture establishes what you suggested establishes, that they brought the property into compliance. What it seems like is that they're complaining about their tenant, which may or may not be legitimate, but, I don't know that this constitutes a, hey, we brought the property into compliance document.
Well, what I did produce as well is the receipts of the repairs for which the violation originated, which have, if I'm correct, 2 weeks after the violation was instated or reported. I believe the violation, correct me if I'm wrong, is from June 20th, 2020, and the repairs are from July 1st, and consecutive thereof until completed, I believe, till July 10th of 2020. So it's not like my client let the property fall into despair and
Yeah, but
continue
it's
to violate.
impossible, even with these documents, it's impossible for me to know whether or not the property was actually brought into compliance without an officer having inspected it and said, hey, this work has addressed the concern that the city has raised, and that's,
To
so
that
I
point,
can't
Magistrate.
presume from the documents, I can presume that work was done, I guess, but I can't presume from the documents that the property was in compliance at the time that you say it was, without an
Magistrate,
actual inspection.
if I
I'm sorry,
may.
go ahead.
According to the officer's case notes, an inspection was done December 22nd of 2020, and an affidavit of noncompliance was subsequently turned in, meaning that that violation was still there, present during her inspection at the time. It wasn't re-inspected until November 17th of 2022 by a different officer, which at that point it was brought into compliance. So that's roughly about a 2-year difference there between.
Do the notes indicate what the officer observed at the time of the reinspection?
She didn't put it in there. She just put that it failed the inspection.
All right, so the city has offered to reduce it from 139.2 to 34.8, which is a pretty good reduction. I can tell you that I'm not going to go with 0. So if you want to make me a better offer, you can.
Okay,
But,
let me, can I get a minute to consult with my client?
Yeah.
My client's willing to offer at this point 5,000.
What's the city feel about an offer of 5,000 in this case?
But being paid by the end of the week.
Magistrate, city would counter with 15%, excuse me, 10%, which would be 13,920.
Um, 7,500 or 7,500 is my client's counter offer, to be paid, by the end of business day Friday.
Just to save us trouble, I'll split the difference. I'll go 10,000. I'll give you 30 days to pay.
Thank you. Thank you, Special Magistrate.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Case number 23, CE 21020006, case address 239 Bunker Ranch Road.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Agenda item number 23, case number CE 21020006, address 239 Bunker Ranch Road. This case was originally cited, one second. This case was originally cited in January 30th of 2021. They were cited for windows, doors, mini split AC, electrical, and an enclosed garage work that was done without a permit. This went to a special magistrate hearing April 7th, 2021. It was ordered for the fine to start as of July 6th, 2021. That ran at $250 a day for 1,170 days for a total of $282,500 and was complied August 9th, 2024. This was done under the owner that's here in front of us. Magistrate, he only has one case under code enforcement under his ownership. We do have an agreement beforehand, Magistrate, to reduce the fine to $7,500 payable within 30 days.
This is a new owner?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Brian Fleming?
Mr. Fleming, you are now the owner of this property?
Yes.
The city tells me that you've reached an agreement to pay $7,500 within 30 days. Is that your understanding as well, sir?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, based upon the agreement of parties, the fine is reduced to $7,500 if paid within 30 days. If not paid within that time, it returns to the original amount. Thank you for coming in, sir.
Thank you.
Case number 24, CE 22080222, case address 4393 Windsor Avenue.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Agenda item 24, case number CE 22080222, address 4393 Windsor Ave. This case was originally cited August 9th, 2022, for interior remodel of units without permits or inspections being done. This went to a special magistrate hearing February 1st of 2023. It was ordered for the fine to start as of April 3rd, 2023. Now that fine was $250 a day, and that ran for 534 days. for a total of $82,750. That was complied February 28th, 2024. Services in this case was achieved by way of posting as well as regular mail. This was done under the same ownership. Magistrate, we do have an agreement beforehand to reduce the fine to $4,137.50. We did not, however, work out the amount of time needed to pay that violation.
$4,137 and
50 cents.
50 cents. It's a very specific number.
5%.
Sir, how much time do you need?
Michael Karsh, K-A-R-S-C-H. I'm attorney for the company.
Mr. Karsh, how much time do you need?
No, we agreed with the number.
Yeah, when I write
Okay.
the order, I have to give you a certain amount of time to.
A week, no problem.
Why don't we make it 30 days, just in case? All right. The reason that that's important is because the way that we draft these orders is if that doesn't get paid within that time, it returns to the original amount.
Okay, no problem.
All right, in this case, I'm going to reduce the fine to $4,137.50 payable within 30 days, or it returns to the original amount.
Case number 29, CE 21060261, case address 1002 Green Pine Boulevard, G1.
Good morning or afternoon. Thank you. My name is Sean Selk. I'm here on behalf of the respondent, the property owner, Yara Imbaud, and formerly Hans Maurer. I think it's pronounced, however, he is deceased and passed away during the pendency of this particular issue.
All right, let me just let the city present the case, and then I'll let you tell me what you'd like me to do.
All right, Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Agenda item 29, case number CE 210-60261. This case was originally cited June 17th, 2021. They were cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. This went to a special magistrate hearing August 4th, 2021. It was ordered for the fine to start as of September 6th, 2021 at $200 a day, and that ran for 1,108 days for a total of $173,000, and this was complied January 19th of 2024. The service in this case was achieved by way of posting and regular mail. This was done under the same owner, so the city requests a reduction in this case to 10%, which would be $17,300.
Mr. Selk, was it?
Selk, S-E-L-K.
Mr. Selk, the
Yes,
floor
sir.
is yours.
I'm sorry?
The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you so
What
much.
do you ask me for, and why should I grant it to you?
I am going to ask for a reduction. I understand. I'm not going to stand here and ask for a reduction to zero. I don't think that that's warranted based on the set of circumstances that I have presented to me by my
That's a
client.
good start.
This case is a little bit interesting in that I haven't had anything sort of work out this way with the twists and the turns. My clients are Brazilian nationals. They had a tenant in this property who was under contract to purchase the property. They were cited by code enforcement for not having a proper rental license, and they do not deny that. They attempted to get that license. They don't have social security numbers, being Brazilian citizens, and weren't able to do what the rest of us might be able to do with a snap of a fingers or a few types in the keyboard and get a rental license online. They had to submit to the United States government, the IRS, to get an ITIN number for both of them. That process in 2022 was a difficult process to take. I have some testimony that I provided in our package, and I have some testimony from Markham, who they hired to obtain their EIN number, their ITIN numbers. During that process, one of the owners was diagnosed with dementia. His ITIN application was kicked by the IRS. It said, well, he's got dementia, we need a power of attorney. So now I have to go back to Brazil, obtain a Brazilian power of attorney, resubmit, get new ITIN numbers. At that point then, now, he has passed away. The tenant, his contract expired. He stayed in the unit for a short period of time to try and work this out, hoping to get a number, figure something out, buy the unit, sell, satisfy at closing, and everybody would be happy. Markham was diligently working on getting the ITN numbers so that they could apply for the license. The death of her husband or life partner, is what I've come to find out, sent her into a bit of a tailspin, and she didn't ignore this. She hired me to come instead. And here we are after this process. So we were asking for a further reduction. They did hire Markham on March 22nd of 2022. That is a shorter time frame. It's a little bit less than the 17,000. That brings us down to 76 days, or roughly thereabout, and is right around the $15,000 frame. I'm asking for a shorter reduction down to that. When they went and they hired a professional Markham to take care of their business and get this taken care of the best they could.
What number are you asking me for, Mr. Self?
I have it at 76 days from the date of the order, which was 1/5/2022. And so I had it at 15,200, recognizing that I don't believe we're going to do much better than that.
That seems reasonable to me.
City accepts that offer.
I would suggest that, before you hammer your gavel.
City, I believe, has stated we have
City
accepted
accepts
the
that
offer.
offer.
Oh, you have an exception to the offer?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and I was going to suggest too that I don't have a payment by date because I just don't have that for you yet. I'd
Gotta put
ask,
something in the order, so what would you like me to put?
I'd ask for 60 days so that they could get money from Brazil over to the United States to get it paid.
All right, reduced to 17, what did we say, 17.3, 60 days.
I'm sorry, it was reduced to 17.3?
Oh, wait, sorry, it was 15.2, right?
15.2.
I asked for
yes,
52.
correct.
You
Okay,
said,
yeah, I'm sorry.
you said no exception, or you did have?
Yes, we
Yeah.
did accept.
Reduced to 15.2, payable within 60 days.
Okay, thank you.
Amended order, sorry, my apologies.
Thank you, everyone,
All
for your
bad.
time.
And I screwed up the number.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Williams, for your time on all of this.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You can tell it's been a long day already.
And there's more to come.
Okay. Case number 30, CE 23050046, case address 1720 North Congress Avenue, 101.
All right, Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Agenda item number 30, case number CE 23050046, address 1720 North Congress Avenue, Unit 101. This case was originally cited May 5th, 2023. They were cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use, the doors and windows to the unit needing to be made weathertight, the structure needing address characters, screens that needed to be repaired and provided, AC repair, repair of the doors and outlets throughout the unit, the vent hood, and also exterminating of pests, and work done without inspections or a permit that was needed. This went to a special magistrate hearing July 5th, 2023. It was ordered for the fine to start as of October 4th, 2023. This ran for 104 days at $100 a day for a total of $10,400 and was complied January 16th, 2024. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting as well as regular mail. This was done under the same owner. So the city requests a reduction to 25% magistrate, which would be $2,600.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Lena Larentracht.
You can pull the mic a little lower. Yeah.
Lena Larentracht.
Remember, are you the owner of the property? I have the owner as an LLC.
Yes.
Are you the owner of the LLC?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what are you asking me for, and why should I grant it to you?
Well, so everything that was in the original violation was complied by June 9th. I had sent in email, pictures, receipts, tenants, acknowledgement that the stuff was done, and certified mail. I have copies here too, to the original inspector. The only thing that was outstanding was the certificate of use and the permitting part, the violation for the permit. I spoke with the inspector because I was dealing with personal issues. My grandmother was in the hospital, and I was in the emergency room the day of the court date. So a friend of mine, I designated, I gave him permission to come. He got an extension for me until the October 3rd. And so in between that time, I have came to find out that the apartment was originally built that way. I did not do work, nor did the previous owner do any unpermitted work. The bathroom came with a stand-in shower. I presented the floor plans and letter from the association to the inspector, who scheduled a final inspection, but then didn't show up twice. And on the third time, when we called him, and we kept saying, you keep setting appointments, and in the meantime, money is running. The violation, and it shouldn't be, because this was not something that I could have even changed. He wanted me to obtain a permit for plumbing work that nobody did. The apartment was built that way. When he finally did come and inspect the property, he said the property is in compliance and closed the violation, and here we are. I don't think I should be responsible for a violation. I pulled the tenant out of the apartment because I couldn't obtain the certificate of use due to this plumbing issue, only to find out that the apartment was built that way. So I've lost rental income, and here we are. This is my second time in Florida for this. The last time I came, the day before I flew in, I found out that they weren't ready for the magistrate to see me. So I've already paid for 2 flights. I've stayed in hotels. This has cost me more than the $10,000. I have all the paperwork here if you want to see it.
Mr. Williams, you want to take a look?
Sure. I also have the code officer here who initiated the violation and has
Mr.
testimony.
McFarland. Why don't you come up and tell us what happened here?
All right. Basically, this originally came in as a complaint. So I went, investigated the complaint. There were indeed violations on the property. Now, I do give it to the property owner. She did try to work diligently as she could, seeing that she resides in New York. It was very difficult for her, and I took that into consideration. Now, the thing that was holding her up the most was the walk-in shower. Now, my experience in these units, I've never encountered a walk-in shower in any of these units. So I was a little skeptical on the walk-in shower being there. But I still gave her an opportunity to comply the case. I asked her, present the floor plan that's showing the original walk-in shower or obtain the permit. So I guess she had difficulties providing the documentation so I could close the case, and this is why we're here now. She did provide it, but she provided it after the fact.
And I apologize for that, but I was with my grandmother in the hospital.
I understand. I'm not saying it was your fault.
Was Officer McFarland, the other issues associated with the property, were they complied in a timely fashion?
No, they weren't complied in a timely fashion, but they did get complied. As far as the rental certificate, she did provide to me that she emptied the unit and provided the documentation, the non-rental agreement, and I complied that portion of it.
The portion that what I'm trying to figure out is that if we take out the issue with the shower just for a second, let's put that aside for a second, would there have been a fine on this property for the other violations?
Yes, because we did not get the inspection completed in a timely fashion. Like I said, she resides in New York. Let me finish. She resides in New York, and she has, I don't know if he's a property manager, I don't know what he really is, but we were unable to get an inspection scheduled till after the fact. But we did get it scheduled, and I did mark off what was done, and she also provided photos of when these things were done as far as the exterminating goes. She did provide documentation for the exterminating. So I'm not saying that she didn't take the initiative, it's just that unfortunately things didn't get done in a timely fashion. That's why you're here today.
Do we have a sense of what the fine would have been in the absence of the shower issue?
I don't know that number, sir.
All right, but I think we'd agree that it'd be less. Yeah,
Of
okay.
course it'd be less.
Okay.
So just one,
ma'am. Go ahead.
one correction. When I found out that I had to apply for the rental license was in April. I submitted the paperwork for the rental license and spoke with, I'm sorry, the inspector, and we tried to schedule dates. The tenant was refusing to let the inspector in. That's what held up the original inspection. Then she called in a complaint, and he
No.
came to,
No,
I
that's
have
not what
the-
occurred, because I did not come there for a rental inspection. You did not submit the rental application until you got my notice.
No, I submitted the rental application on April 3rd.
I'm not gonna argue this, magistrate.
I mean, it seems relatively easy verifiable. If she submitted it on the 3rd, it'd be in the system, right?
Correct. It really doesn't?
No, but what he's saying that he came on a complaint, but we had been
All
in
right,
contact
I think we're
before.
drifting a bit. So the city has offered to reduce it from 10.4 to 2,600. Ma'am, I will hear you on what your offer is.
I just feel like I've complied with everything before the original court date, other than these two issues of the license and the plumbing permit issue. Again, I emailed pictures and receipts, I sent in registered mail stuff, and I have copies of everything here. Those two were the only two things that were outstanding as far as I understood.
And why didn't you get the rental license by the required time?
I applied on April 3rd of 2023, and the inspector came in May 4th of 2023. I complied with all the violations by June 9th of 2023, except for these two outstanding things. We had the,
All right, hold on one sec. What was the compliance date originally in this case?
This was complied January 16th of 2024.
When were they supposed to be complied? What was in the
This
order?
is from the magistrate order was October 3rd, 2023.
And what was outstanding on October 3rd, 2023? Do we know?
It would be the plumbing.
So the rental issue was resolved by the required time?
She submitted a non-rental agreement, she emptied the unit.
So
Because
there
we could never-
wasn't a rental license issue so the only thing
No.
that she technically got fined on was this plumbing issue?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Ma'am, and your argument is that okay, and so the city is suggesting that you failed to deliver the document showing that this was in the original plans by that date? And that at some point you did do that, right?
Yes, I did, way prior to the January date. It's just, we
I'm
weren't.
not worried
ab-
about the January date, just
Right.
so, but by the October date, you hadn't resolved this. It's essentially why we're here.
By the October date, that was the only thing that was outstanding. I don't remember when I supplied the inspector with the floor plans, but I do have them with me if you want to see them.
No, I believe you, and I know the city believes you, because otherwise you wouldn't have been compliant. So we're talking about one thing that's relatively small. Is the city still sticking by their 2,600?
I mean, I've lost rental income due to this.
Ma'am, I promise, I heard you.
May I inquire, Magistrate, what is the counter offer? I think you asked that 10 minutes ago, and I still haven't heard a number. Is there a counter offer so then the city can now contemplate? Is it zero?
I just feel that there
Ma'am,
shouldn't have been a.
So are you just asking for zero so we can move
Ye-
this along?
Yes,
because we have other cases?
yes.
Okay, so
I
it's
think I've
zero.
lost a lot of money on this.
And so is the city making a counter?
I
From
mean,
the
I think
2,600?
we would stay at the original offer.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to reduce it to $500. I'll give you 30 days.
Thank you very much. All right. Case number 31, CE 17110520. Case address is 1831 North Congress Avenue.
Hi, good morning, or actually good afternoon.
Come on up.
See, it's been a few times.
He needs to be sworn in,
Today?
Magistrate.
Was your client sworn in?
I think they are. You swear in, or? I think they did. They've been here. You want to re-swear them if you want? It's fine.
You weren't
I don't need
I
a lawyer
wasn't.
to swear.
Attorney Dana Rose. I'll swear in.
All right.
Who's
You
swearing?
swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida.
I do. How are you today?
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Agenda item number 31, case number CE 171-10520. Case address is 1831 North Congress Avenue. This case was originally cited November 29, 2017. They were cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use, doors and windows that needed to be weather tight, and to affix address characters to the structure. This went to a special magistrate hearing January 17, 2018. It was ordered for the fine to start as of February 17, 2018. That fine was $100 a day, and that ran for 2,197 days for a total of $219,700. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting. This is the new owner that's here before us today, Magistrate. So the city requests a reduction to 5%, which would be $10,985.
Yes, sir.
I just want to clarify. They were divorced, and they're going to sell the house. I'm surprised I was able to get them both to stand a few feet apart, which is great. Just so the city knows, there's no tenant in there. It's her son. He has the name Paul Dandemley, and I think that's what set off a rental application issue. So they went ahead and did it anyway, even though it's really her son, who's 18 now. So I just want to let the city know there's really no tenant there, but I had them for today. I've been very proactive, get everything done. She's a nurse, obviously, and he's a transportation specialist for the city. For like very sick people, they do the medical transportation. So paying a fine is going to be a little bit of a hardship. I know they put everything into compliance. I've been working for the past few months on this. If you could have it in your heart to maybe consider $1,000, they can pay that. I know 10 is going to be a hardship for them. Because like I said, they're making minimal income. It's not like the last people here that make 6 figures or more. It's an income issue, and if that would be something to consider, that'd be greatly appreciated. That's my counter, I guess.
For clarity, they're the new owners?
No, they've owned it. They were married, and I think what the records is, in the divorce, she got the house. So he gave her a quitclaim deed, and then he bought a house. So what happened was they didn't, and
If I
ignorance.
may, so they're the original owners
Yes.
that incurred the violations? I just wanted to make sure, because I.
Yeah, legally, what happens is once the deed is transferred, the city takes it, the county takes as new ownership. Just like I've learned in years ago, when couples get divorced, even though they own a house together and they sell it, the bank considers them first-time homeowners. To get a new loan. So if you divorce and decide to buy another property after divorce, you are officially a first-time home buyer. Not many people are aware of that. I learned that a few years ago. So he went to obviously get a new place. He was trying to refinance, and of course a lien goes on both of them because it goes on every property. So he called my office, and I got them to work together diligently to make sure everything was done. I think it's one of those situations when divorces happen, they just everyone just puts their head in the sand and doesn't really handle it. So I came in and did everything I could to get this thing fixed up. And just to clarify, it was never a rental. I don't know how that happened, so I had him do it anyway. She's been living in it as her homestead for years. What can you do for us?
The city would counter with $5,000, and we give them as much time as they would need to pay it, up to a year.
You can do $2,500 each over a year. That'll take care of a $250,000 fine. I can figure it out. Can I just talk to them for 1 second? 'Cause
Sure.
I gotta. So you owe $229,000 right now. They want $5,000. You want 12 liens, so you have a year to pay it. How do you want to do it? I got the video coming from my just right now. They can make any under consideration. Right, but you have a year. You got until 2025. You've got 365 days to make 5,000 over here. I would say just split it. Get the refinance to work something out. Right.
Can they give us that 90 days?
1 year.
Or to pay for it?
Mm-hmm. 1 year.
To pay?
Yeah. You'd be able to make it work. I would take the deal. It cleans it up.
Yeah, I want to finish.
Yeah, they'll accept the 5,000. If they can have a year, that'd be great, because obviously property taxes are due, so it's a hardship on his end, a little bit on her end. They have to kind of coexist to get it done, because they're going to share it.
City okay with the year?
Yes, city accepts.
All right, reduced to $5,000 payable within 12 months.
Thank you so much. Paperwork over here. I appreciate it, thank you. That'll hopefully clean it. Is there any, there's nothing else, right?
Just a
Can
written
you
order.
just note that it's no longer rented? I don't know how that keeps showing up, so she doesn't get cited next year for not having.
If you could wait for me outside, we can
I appreciate it.
discuss
Thank you.
that.
Thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much.
Okay. Case 32, CE 221-20215, case address 421 51st Street.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Agenda item 32, case number CE 221-20215. Case address 421 51st Street.
Sir?
Can someone?
No, Kristen, somebody has, well, I
leave it here.
What's going on?
someone left their phone at the
Oh.
podium,
Yeah.
special magistrate.
All right.
It's not our phone.
All right, so the case at 421 51st Street was originally cited December 20th, 2022. They were cited for unpermitted use, tree abuse, garbage can placement in the view of the public, sod needed in the swell, as well as fence disrepair that needed to be obviously repaired with permits and inspections. This went to a special magistrate hearing March 15th of 2023. It was ordered for the fine to start as of October 2nd, 2023 at $150 a day, and that ran for 177 days for a total of $26,550 and was complied March 27th of 2024. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting in regular mail. This is the new owner in front of us today, magistrate. So with that being said, the city would like to request a reduction to 15% of the fine, which would be $3,982.50.
Sir, can you give me your name, please?
My name is Thomas Hermans. I'm the realtor for Mr. Davis, also present here.
And this is Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Seems like the city's made a pretty good offer here. What are you asking me for?
Well, my client, he brought the property in good confidence. He bought it with a clean title. We did the lien search through the title company, which was completely empty as well. Then in November, we found out during an update of let me just check here, for the construction loan, that there was a lien just pending on the property from the previous owners with the kitchens that were still installed in the property. We found out Mr. Davis made everything he could to comply with the city to remove everything. I think even when the permit was granted to remove the kitchens, he
All done within 5 days and inspected. but this was all previous, but it never showed up on my closing, on my title search or compliance or anything. Or I wouldn't have bought the house.
I don't give legal advice, but this is why they have title insurance.
Yeah.
Um, So now everything is back in order and inspected and is back into regulations.
Well, I presume it's in compliance, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So the city's offered to reduce it from 26,550 to 3,982.50.
Yeah, just anything, you know, just because it's got me in a bind, you know. Yeah, we do 1,000.
Can we try to, at 1,000, please? Payable within 30 days?
No, I pay it today.
Actually, it's less than 4,000, 3,982.50.
Well, I didn't hear the offer.
1,000.
1,000?
Because we feel like this work was a problem before I bought the house. There was no lien that showed up or any kind of compliance at closing. I didn't find out till it took 2 or 3 months after I owned it. I jumped right on it, pulled permits, pulled the kitchen out. It never showed up at my closing. I have a clean title insurance, all that in my package and my lien reduction. This is something that I didn't do, but I went ahead and complied and pulled it out and had it inspected.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
Problem with the house.
I'll reduce, the city offered essentially 4,000. I'll reduce it to 2. How much time do you need?
2,000. If I pay it today, how long does it take to get the lien up? Because I'm leaned off if I pay
I don't know the answer to that.
Because I'm 6 months behind on my upgrade, so.
Legal will draft up a release of lien as soon as we receive notification. Then it has to be signed by the special magistrate at the next hearing. We only have hearings twice a month. So if it could get paid today, it's possible that a release could be drafted up by the next hearing, but then it will take at least an additional 30 to 60 days for it to be recorded with the county.
And also it needs to be a cashier's check.
And that,
Cashier check.
2,030 days.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck, sorry. I think that's it, right?
Yes, sir.
Until the police cases, right? No,
we
those
have
are-
two, I believe we have 2 police cases at 12:30.
Are any of them ready to go?
I don't see Sergeant, the individuals are here, but I don't see Sergeant
officers aren't
Cole.
here.
Is it Officer or Sergeant Cole?
Yeah, usually it's a police officer, right?
Yeah,
And-
it's a police officer, but I want to give him his
All right,
proper time.
we're gonna adjourn till 12:30.
I'll go out and see if he's there.
All right, I'm calling us back into session. The only cases remaining on the agenda are the police cases. As the officer is not here, there's no point in us staying any longer, so I'm going to adjourn this meeting at this time. I'm going to direct the respondents. The officer will reach out to you about the conclusion of your case, but otherwise, we're adjourned.
Special Magistrate, if I may, I'm sorry, I just wanted to put on the record that we have made efforts to contact the police officer, Timothy Colvin, and we have not gotten a response, just so that the record is clear as to that, and that the cases will be dismissed.
Well, I'm going to let the city decide what they want to do with these cases.
Okay,
But we certainly can't proceed with them at this point.
okay, thank you.